Hello guys, MrJPGames here, and welcome back to another video of Minecraft modding. So, today we're going to create a block, and creating a block is really quite easy. So we're going to do public static file, and we're going to do block, because we want to create a block. Now, this is the part that's customizable. So, this is basically for every single block that is the code. Now, we're going to create a name for our block, which is tutorial block. And that equals new tutorial. I can't spell, sorry. Tutorial block. Oh my gosh. Tutorial block dot set. I'll wait for that. Okay, so we have this tutorial block file. We don't have that created, so we'll create the file. So if this thing is red underlined, that's okay. So this is the name in the code, only in the code for this block. If you want to use this, if you want to call this block for anywhere else in the code, it is your mod file, in this case mod dot tutorial block, which basically means this thing right here can be called from any other file with mod dot tutorial block. So now we're going to need to create a new class, and that's going to need to be called tutorial block. Now, this tutorial block needs to extend something, because it's going to extend block. There are multiple kinds of blocks, and if you're trying to create, for instance, a flower, it does need to extend block flower. So that's very important. Now, this will turn red. That's not bad. It's not a bug. It will give us suggestions to fix this. It is actually a bug, but it gives us suggestions to fix it, which make it really easy to fix. So we can import block from com.gcraft.jorbis, but we're not going to do that. We need the Minecraft block, and as soon as that is imported, we are going to get an error on this. That's once again not bad. It will just give us the solution already. Now, the only thing we don't want is this one right here. We're gonna probably add some stuff in there. Super part 1, part 2 material. Now, this is quite usual. This is not bad. And this is just our regular block, so this is going to be kept the same. But if you want a certain block that has a special functionality, but you want, for instance, 3 blocks with different textures for them, you don't want the material to enter the material every single time again, so we're just gonna remove that line there and make the material in here automatically the same. But because we want this to be a universal block that can be any material at all, we're just going to add it here. Now this is still red, and it's red now with the new and the things there as well. So we need to add arguments to match tutorial block, and it says int, which is basically a number, and then material. Now it will do this automatically for us. Well, 0 as an integer is a bit low. We want it to be around 300 for now, and no, we don't want that. It will probably not work because there isn't a material called no. So we're just going to do material dot, and then you get a list of materials. And if you didn't follow the first episode of my Minecraft, I'm in the second one where we set it up the mod file. It should be already in this, but if it's not, you would need to add it to your imports like I did with all the other things we haven't imported yet. So what material do we want this tutorial block to be? Well, I would like it to be, I don't know, wood will be quite Good. Okay. So now there are still a few things to do. The first thing is start set creative tab. This is basically setting in which tab it should be shown in the creative menu. So creative tabs dot, and then you got a list of all tabs that are available, and you want this block to be just in the block tab. Now there's one more thing we need to set. It's dot set unlocalized name, and we're modding in 1.5.1, so this is actually declaring the textures and the name that it has. So without this, you can't give your item a name, but this is not the name itself. So we're just going to call this tut block, and we're going to need to remember this name for a while. Okay, so oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so as soon as we got that done, we're now going to add this block to the code and make it visible. So we're going to do game registry dot. Once again, if you don't have that, we'll need to import it. Do we have that? Wait a second. What did the error here? We do have a game registry, I think. There we have game registry. Game registry dot. It's strange. Okay, use the other way. Okay, that's so strange. I'll cut here and see what I did wrong. Okay, hello guys, MrJPGames here. This is what I did wrong. Didn't meant to place that there. So what was wrong is we didn't have the load or initialize of this mod. So as soon as this mod gets called, this code will be run, and then parts of this code will be only run if this is registered, and it will be run anyway, but you will need to put your registering code and naming code in here. So now if we do game registry, which I probably misspelled there, registry, oh come on, game registry dot. Okay, so now we got a list of things we can do. So we can add biomes, recipes, shapeless recipes, shape recipes, smelting recipes. We can do all kinds of things. We can find blocks, find items, but we're not gonna need those for right now. So we're gonna register a block for now. So register a block, and then we're gonna enter the name that's here and not any other name. So we're gonna enter that name, and we're gonna end it off with this. That's what you need for every single one of them. I don't know why that is. Okay, now we're gonna need to do one more thing. Game register, because the game doesn't know how to call this. So we're gonna add. Dot. Is that a possibility? I'm not sure if this will work anyway. That doesn't work. Okay, so we'll just use the modloader way of doing it. That doesn't matter. Modloader add name. Then first the file, how it's called in the source code, which is this. We'll have that entered here, and then this is what it will show in game. Now this is blank, which won't show anything at all, but we'll call it tutorial block with the space in between. Okay, now let's run Minecraft. So now if we did everything right, which I think we did, what should happen is the game should crash. That sounded a bit strange. But yeah, that is what it is, because we have used slot 30, which is already occupied by Minecraft Forge Common, blah blah blah, when adding tutorial, blah 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 blah. So we're not allowed to use that. So we're going to use about 1,000 or something. I think we are not allowed to use it either, because we need to stay on 265, but I'm not totally sure about that, so we'll just try it, because 1,000 is a better number for it. Okay, so that does work. Okay, so we now have the ID of 1,000, and it will be under the general tab of blocks. Okay, so here we go. We have booted up Minecraft successfully, no bugs, and this is our block, tutorial block. It seems beautiful, doesn't it? Doesn't it look gorgeous? It looks gorgeous. But it's only missing one thing, and you probably already saw it because of the block is telling us what is missing. We're missing texture. Yep, we're missing texture. But more importantly, if I walk over it, it doesn't give a sound at all. Brilliant. But yeah, you can see the placing sound is the same as for instance, an oak wood block. So that is what the material does, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna keep one block and we'll make the texture. So yeah, I will make the texture right now. It shouldn't be too hard, but I'm gonna show anyway how to set it up anyways. So I use pink.net. It's something I highly recommend you use as well. But you can use basically anything. You can use GIMP as well if you wanted to use GIMP. But I use pink.net usually, so yeah. So what you need to do is, for any mod you're going to create, you want to have a 16 by 16 image, basically. Why 16 by 16, you ask? Well, that's the default resolution of Minecraft blocks and items. Now, you could make an HD mod, or if your one specific item needs way more detail than you can give with those 16 by 16 space, you can just add 16 bytes. So you can use 32, 64, 128, 265, even 1024 by 1024, but that's way too big, so you're probably not wanting to do that. So now we make a 16 by 16 space and not hit caps lock, because that won't help us. And we'll get this little spacing now. If you zoom in a lot, we can select everything and delete it, which we'll want to use. Now we got a transparent background. Now, for this, for the video's sake, we're gonna create a very simple texture, but still be cool. Basically, simple in the way that I'm gonna take too much time creating it. But that doesn't mean to look cool at all. So I think that's not quite right. That's not quite right. That's not quite right. That's about right. That's about right. Okay. So now we're gonna enter the middle as well. Oh, thought we had the paintbrush, but never mind. Now we're gonna do effects. Glow. The brightness really low. The contrast really low. The read is really big. The brightness is well quite big. And the read is quite small. So more effect, the contrast is really high. That's about right. Okay, so that looks quite good. We got really simply got a great result. Now we got to save this somewhere, and I'm going to just save it on my desktop for now and call it tut block. And this is really important, how you call this file. Well, you don't need to call it correctly the first time immediately, but what you do need to know is how it's called. So we have tut block right here. Now we're going to MCP. Now we can go into our SRC Minecraft, and there is a tutorial folder here. Now in this exact same folder, we're going to create a new folder called textures, and then a new folder again. Oops, not a shortcut. We're going to create a new folder called blocks. Not block. Oops. Rename that blocks. Okay, so now we're going to paste in a file. So tut_block needs to be exactly the same, and I mean exactly the same as tut_block here. So if this would be this, that file would be called that, and otherwise it wouldn't work. So that's something important to keep in mind. Now we'll look if this works, and I don't think it will, but you know, we'll fix that along the side just as well. So I just need to wait for Mojang to boot our game up, and hopefully we'll get some interesting results. Okay, there you go. The texture got loaded. We did everything right correctly the first time. I'm very thankful for that. And as you can see, we got a really pretty block right here. I'm actually quite proud of it. I just made it this fast. It's really just alive how I made that texture, and I think I actually like it a lot. I maybe want to use it in one of my mods. It's really quite cool. So, thank you guys for watching. You could leave a like or subscribe for more money goodness. And, oh my god, I love the texture of this block. I seriously love it. So, thank you all for watching. Bye.